Alright, today we're going to begin our Greek unit. Now, the first question I have is, what do the following words have in common? Democracy, Olympics, marathon, and music. If you guess they all came from Greece, you are correct. Now, these 11 words that we're going to discuss today, these are the 11 words that you have to know to be able to start on the Greek unit. They are not your only vocab words for this unit, but they are the ones that you need to know to be able to start on the Greek unit. The first word is Acropolis. Acropolis is a large hill which the Greek city-states were built on and around. And the two most famous city-states in Greece are Athens and Sparta. Now, when we talk about Athens and Sparta, we'll talk more about how the Acropolis was formed. Okay? But what an Acropolis is a large hill which the Greeks built their city-states on and around. The second word is Agora. Agora is a place where the Greeks go and they conduct their business. Imagine this classroom. Visualize this classroom. It is wide open. It doesn't have any walls. All it has is columns. You have these different groups from these different areas in a city or from different cities. Let's say, for instance, since we're local, Micro, Pine Level, Glendale, Kinley, Selma, Smithfield, Wilson, Raleigh. And they all come to conduct their business. Pine Level hears ideas from Kinley. Kinley hears ideas from Wilson. Wilson hears ideas from Smithfield. Okay? They may like their ideas, they may not. If they like their ideas, they can take their ideas back and ask them how, or ask their group how they like them. And, they can alter their own ideas. And they can also trade things at this agora. They could trade ideas, they could trade goods, they can meet and trade money. It's almost like a bartering system at the agora. The assembly. An assembly is a place where people would go and vote on issues for their city. Take the same scenario. There's different groups. A vote has just happened to extend winter break for 2 weeks. Yay, raise your hand. No, raise your other hand. But that isn't the main scenario. The main scenario is, let's say there's a governmental race going on. Joe Bob is facing Susie Sue. And in this race, the same action has to be taken, raising of the hands. Think about the scenario. Think about what I said about all the cities being there. What do you see as a positive and a negative to having an assembly? And why do you think it could be a bad thing as well as a good thing? The next word that we're going to discuss today is a citizen. A citizen is a person who has rights and responsibility to his or her country. Now, citizen was in Greece, but there's also citizens in the United States. All you are considered citizens. But the main right and responsibility of a citizen, specifically in the United States, comes when you're about 6 years for most of you. 7 if you're 11 years old. Think about it. You're in social studies class. 6 years, you'll be 18. What is that right and responsibility that a citizen has here in the United States? Colony. Colony is a group of people who live away from Greece, but still trade and keep their economic ties with Greece. What do you see as a positive for living away from Greece, but still keeping your economic ties with Greece? But what do you also see as a negative with the colony living away from Greece, but still keeping your economic ties to it? What is a positive and negative to it? Democracy. Democracy is a form of government where people vote to make decisions. Vote is the key word here. Vote, 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 vote. Get it through, get it through, get it through. Vote, vote, democracy. If you don't remember anything from here, democracy means to vote. Democracy means to vote. Helots. Helots is a person captured by Sparta and forced to live as a slave. Now, we're not really going to talk about it right now. We're going to talk about it a little bit later on. But remember, Sparta, slave, Helots. Those three words, that's how you remember it. Sparta, slave, Helots. The next word, monarchy. Monarchy is a government headed by one ruler, usually a king or queen. Now, dictator and monarchy mean very similar things. Dictator is a government headed by one ruler, usually an overthrow of the country. Monarchy, though, is a government headed by one ruler, with the key words being usually a king or a queen. Now, Greece really doesn't have much of a monarchy, very little, but it's really later on in the Middle Ages, Renaissance, and Exploration when the monarchy is key. And I just wanted to bring it up to you now so you can at least know it. Oligarchy. Oligarchy is a government headed by a small group of people. The small group of people is usually either the ruling class or a ruling family, usually a group that has a lot of money and a lot of power in society. In some situations in history, an oligarchy could have been a peasant group, but those were very rare, and usually those would be put down pretty quickly. But an oligarchy is a government headed by a small group of people, ruling class or family, that lasted for a good while. The final set of vocab words for this lesson. You know what? Put that down there. Okay. Republic. Republic is a government in which citizens have the right to choose their leaders. Remember, democracy means to vote. Republic means to choose. Okay? Republic means to choose. Choose. Democracy means to vote. Vote. Trireme. Trireme is a major sailing vessel powered by three. Tri means three. Tricycle. Try. 3 banks of oarsmen. Okay? We'll talk about this a little bit later on. Like Helots, we're not going to spend much time on it right now. It just simply means tri means 3, sailing vessel. This is today's lecture. Remember, this is not the only vocab you'll be having, but it is the most important ones to get an intro to Greece.